guys, and welcome back for another short flow. Today's sequence is a skills and drills sequence helping you build strength within your arms for arm balances, but also your compression area, so your lower abs for L-sits and things. So our focus today is going to be building into an L-sit. You won't need much at all, just some space on the floor, a mat if you have one, and if you have blocks, hard blocks, these could be useful. 2 of those, or some parallettes is another option. So you might have some of these kicking around in the gym, or something similar to use. Dumbbells you could also use, just to give you a little bit of support for your wrists and also to help you lift a little bit further off the floor. So whenever you're ready, we're just going to begin in a kneeling position in the centre of the mats. For any arm balances, it's really important that you warm up your wrists well. So we're going to begin by just churning the wrists. So if you interlace the fingers, and we'll just take a few churns in both directions, just making sure that the wrists are getting covered in all the synovial fluids. So we're going to do a couple of churns this way, and then to change the direction, I'm going to push with the other hand. So I've been pushing with the right hand, I'm now going to push with the left hand, so the right hand goes back. If this is too much for you or too complicated, then feel free to just circle the wrists in both directions. So whichever method you prefer, just do a couple more circles for me. Really getting into all angles of those wrists, just gently mobilizing them and freeing them up. And then whenever you're ready, just shake them all out. We're going to do some fists and flicks. So making a fist with your hand, flick the hands out, fist and flick. So this is helping encourage the blood flow. It's also getting all the muscles activated and warmed up and firing. And then we'll just gently shake the wrists out and then place the hands on the floor. So we're going to come into a kneeling position, palms flat on the floor, but not too flat. So think how your feet work. Your foot is not completely flat to the floor, so it's the same with your fingers. If you just think about gripping the mat with your hands, pressing through the heels of your hands and your fingertips, and then pressing your knuckles down toward the floor as well, you'll have a good setup there. So you've got a slight bend in the fingers and maybe a little bit of a lift in the centre of the palm. From here, we're just going to slowly take our shoulders forwards and back over those fingertips, just gently increasing the weight as we press through the hands. We're going to do 10 or so rocks forwards and back. And then when we've done 10 or so in this direction, we're going to take the hands out to the side, or fingertips out to the sides, and you're just going to slowly rock from side to side. So if mobility allows, see if you can walk the hands slowly in to meet at the wrists, and that will give you more of a movement range. Again, don't have the hands flat on the floor. We want to keep the heels of the hands glued to the floor, but the fingers should have a slight lift in them. You shouldn't be completely flattened to the floor with those hands. So I'm just going to do 1 or 2 more each side. And then we're turning the fingertips to point back towards the knees. So wrists under shoulders, and you're just rocking back and forth. So again, with this one, you probably won't be as mobile as other ones. You're just gently opening up those forearms and the wrists. And then shake them off. And we've got one final warm up. So you're going to make a fist with your hand, press your knuckles into the ground, press the ground away. So think about pulling the shoulder blades apart, and then we're going to open the hands up and press down towards them. So you're sending the elbows out to the side. So they're wrist rollouts. We're just going to do 10 or so of these. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we're also going to warm up our shoulders while we're here as well. So we're just going to do a couple of scap presses. So you're going to drop the chest through the arms, keeping the arms straight. Think about squeezing the shoulder blades together and then pulling the shoulder blades apart. So it's just a small movement with just the shoulders. The rest of the body shouldn't move at all. We're going to do 10 of these. So I'm on number 5 now. And then our bodies should be nice and warm. I've got 3 left to go. 1 more. And then just relax back in child's pose. Shake out the shoulders, shake out the wrists. The first drill we're going to do is to fire up our core. It's tuck to boat. So it's quite a simple sort of crunching core compression skill. We're simply going to come into a tuck position. So whether that's with your feet on the floor, toes on the floor, or completely lifted, that's up to you. And again, you can either have hands reaching out in front or placed on the floor, behind or beside. Just try and keep the chest nice and lifted. Don't sink into the lower back. Try and keep this nice upright torso position. So wherever you want to be, we're just going to do 5 tuck to boat. So you're going to tuck your knees in as you exhale, and then inhale to lift your feet up into this boat position. Boat, you can also do single legs if you want to get the movement that way. You're just going to have to do obviously 5 on each side for that. So whichever option you want to use, we're just going to come into that tuck position wherever you're at, and then inhale to lift, exhale to crunch for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. From here, we're just going to hold in a simple boat hold then. So coming back to that tuck position, option 1 is to just stay in this tuck. Option 2, you could do a 5-second single leg hold on this side and then switch, or option 3, both legs. So wherever you're at, we're just going to inhale as we lift those legs up and then hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release and relax, shake it all off. Now that our core is nice and fired up, we're going to start firing up and getting to grips with that L-sit position. So to start off with, we're just going to come into this simple staff pose with your legs straight out in front of you, toes flexed back towards you, and we're just going to do 5 single leg lifts. So you're going to lift one leg up and then lift the other leg up. So you're going to do 5 on each side, so that's 2, 3, keeping nice and upright, trying not to lean back, 4, 5, and relax. And then from here, we're going to do pullbacks. So you're simply going to press into the floor. This is where you could use your blocks if you wanted to. So if you've got these, it's definitely going to help you get better movement range and get further in the pose. Or you can just simply place your hands on the floor. Wherever you're at, you can use these blocks flat on their sides or on their ends, depending on your wrist mobility and stability. You're placing your hands or blocks in kind of the mid-thigh range either side. You're pressing in, pulling back and coming down. So you're pressing to lift and pull back. We're just going to do 5 of these. And then when you've done 5 of those, just place the blocks aside. We're going to go back to those L-sits. So take a breather if you need to. Pause the video if you want to. So we've done single legs. We're going to do both legs now at the same time. So hands are going that mid-thigh range, kind of down towards the knees. Using your fingertips if you can, rather than your whole hand, it will give you a little bit more room to lift. And we're simply going to lift both legs at the same time for L-sit. So try and keep nice and upright with the body. And then we're going to inhale to lift. Exhale. So we're doing 5 of these, 4, 5, and then relax. You'll probably be feeling this in the top of your quads. That's quite normal. That's exactly where we want to work, as well as the lower abs. And again, we're going to come back to those pullbacks in the other direction now as well. So grab your blocks or your fingertips. I'll show you how to do it on your fingertips this time. You're just simply going to press into the ground, pull back, and fold forwards. 5 goes again. 2 more to go, or 1 more, and then relax. Shake it all off. So now our body knows what the position should be, and we've kind of fired up the core, or the key muscles and the core. So now we've taught. So now we've spent some time warming up, firing up the key muscles that are going to be used teaching the body the positions that we want. We're going to start putting those into some arm balances and lifts to build strength. So if you have these blocks, go ahead and grab them. If you don't, you can use either the parallettes or dumbbells or your fingertips as shown before. It might be quite hard with just your fingertips for this bit now. So the first thing we are going to do is a seated lift. So I'm going to face this way now so you can see. I'm going to simply sit in a cross-leg position. The blocks are going to go either side of me about mid-thigh distance again, and I'm just going to lift and press through, lifting my bum first and then seeing if I can lift my legs, and then lower down. So you're going to inhale to lift, exhale to lower. We're going to do 5 of those in total. So if I sit this way around again, so you can see from a side angle, you're placing those blocks kind of halfway down your thigh. Careful not to rock over the edges of your mat, so see where your mat allows you to place them. Press down into the blocks, lift your bum off the floor first, tuck your legs up in that cross-legged position. So we're going to do 5 of those in total, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, 5, and relax. We're then going to add a tuck into this movement now. So we're going to come up with cross legs, tuck the legs together, go back to our cross legs and lower ourselves down. So it will look something like this, and we're going to repeat for 5 times. So we're going to inhale to lift, tuck, back to cross legs and lower. So that's 1 rep. We're going to do that 4 more times. So inhale to lift, tuck, cross, lower, lift, tuck, cross, lower. 2 more times. Inhale to lift, tuck, cross, lower. Last one. Inhale to lift, tuck, cross, lower. And then shake it all off and relax. The third and final progression for this one is a seated lift into a tuck, and then you guessed it, an L sit. So we're going to inhale to lift, tuck, extend, tuck, lower. Oh, come back to your cross legs and then lower. So we're going to inhale to lift, tuck, extend, tuck, go back to that cross leg position and then lower. We're going to do that 5 times in total. You can watch me for the first one and then join me in the last 4 reps if you want, or just go back through this video and repeat as many times as you like. So blocks are in exactly the same position as before. We're going to inhale to lift, tuck, extend, tuck, cross, lower. So you're doing that 4 more times. So inhale to lift, tuck, extend, tuck, cross, lower. 3 more to go. So inhale to lift, tuck, extend, tuck, cross, lower. 2 more. Inhale to lift, tuck, extend, tuck, cross, lower. Last one. You've got this, guys. It's getting tough now. So you're going to inhale to lift, tuck, extend, tuck, cross, lower. Well done, guys. That was really good. So give it a go, keep practicing. The strength will come with the more practice you give it. If you haven't got these blocks at home, they're really good. You can get them off Amazon. They're the hard yoga bricks as opposed to the squidgier yoga blocks. So yoga bricks, they're called. If you haven't got these, parallettes, dumbbells, anything where you've got that supportive grip. If you've got a bad wrist, parallettes might be nicer because you've got that neutral wrist position as you press through. So use what's best for you. It's your practice, your time, your body. Listen to your body, do what's best for you and enjoy.